Miraculous Metaphors, The Fortune Cookie Shop. Here is a short story about a woman who enters a small fortune cookie shop and discovers that truth often reaches the mind more gently through symbols, stories, and playful metaphors than through direct argument. Lina was the kind of person who liked clear answers. If someone wanted to explain something, she preferred they say it directly. No riddles, no poetry, no stories about rivers, robots, or wandering travelers. Just tell her what was true and let her decide whether she agreed. But truth had a strange way of slipping past her defenses. One afternoon, while walking through a busy old market street, Lina noticed a narrow little shop she had never seen before. A painted sign above the door read, "Miraculous Metaphors, Fortune Cookies." She smiled at the odd name and stepped inside. The shop was warm and golden, filled with the sweet scent of vanilla and toasted sugar. Glass jars lined the shelves, each one filled with fortune cookies of different shapes and colors. Some were dipped in chocolate. Some were dusted with cinnamon. Some glittered with edible gold. Behind the counter stood an elderly woman named May, folding tiny slips of paper with great care. "Welcome," May said. "Would you like a cookie?" Lina laughed. "Only if it tells me something useful." May placed a small cookie in her hand. "That depends on whether you know how to read it." Lina cracked it open and unfolded the paper. It said, "The river is loud, but the garden is near." Lina frowned. "That is not useful. It is mysterious." May nodded. "Good. If I told you directly to stop getting swept away by the noise in your mind, you might argue with me. But a river and a garden can wait quietly in you until you are ready." Lina shook her head. "That sounds clever, but also evasive." "Then have another." She opened a second cookie. "The cat in the doorway is not blocking you. It is inviting you to pause." Lina looked up. "Now I know this is one of those spiritual places." May smiled. "And yet you are still reading." Lina opened a third cookie. "The parachute opens when control relaxes into trust." She opened a fourth. "A hidden egg may hold nothing at all." A fifth. "The horse stops because it sees what you do not." Soon Lina had a little pile of paper fortunes spread across the counter. Rivers, cats, parachutes, eggs, horses, storms, telephones, robots. "This is absurd," she said. "Why not just tell people what they need to know?" May leaned forward. "Because the front door of the mind is heavily guarded." Lina went quiet. May continued folding another slip of paper. "When truth marches to the front door shouting, 'You are wrong. Change your thinking,' the mind bolts the lock, lowers the gate, and prepares its arguments." Lina laughed because she recognized herself immediately. "That does sound familiar." "But a metaphor," May said, "comes through the back door. A story does not argue with you. It does not corner you. It offers you a picture. And if the picture is welcomed, something opens." Lina looked again at the little slips of paper. "The river is loud, but the garden is near." The words now felt less like a puzzle and more like a mirror. She thought about how often her mind chased explanations, worries, and endless commentary. She thought about how quickly she defended herself when someone spoke too directly. Yet a simple image, a river beside a garden, slipped past all of that and showed her exactly what she was doing. "It is not the cookie," May said softly, "and it is not even the metaphor itself. It is the shift in purpose. A symbol once used to distract can now be used to awaken." Lina nodded slowly. "So the story is not the truth?" "No," said May. "But it can help the mind relax long enough to receive the truth." Lina stayed in the shop much longer than she intended. She opened cookie after cookie, and each small message carried the same quiet invitation in a different costume. None of them forced her. None of them demanded belief. They simply loosened something. At last, she opened one final cookie. Inside was a single sentence. "When the mind unwinds, love needs no defense." Lina looked up with tears in her eyes. "For the first time," she said, "I understand why stories matter." May smiled. "Then the cookie has done its work." Lina stepped back out into the noisy market street, but something in her was quieter now. The world looked the same. The market stalls, the crowds, the sounds, the movement, none of it had changed. But the back door of her mind had opened a little. And through that small opening, love had entered without a fight. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.